Psychotic lovers were regulars in 90s Bollywood, and some of the iconic characters we remember today fall into this genre. Whether it was Dar or Anjam, obsessive lovers who can't get enough of their love interests always make for a fascinating turn of events in any story. So we can only imagine how excited you, the audience, must have been when Yeh Kaali Kaali Ankhein was announced by Netflix. Does it live up to the hype or fall on its face? Let's jump right into it.
Shut up and sit down.
Direction and writing. As audiences of this series, we were constantly confused as to the genre it falls into. The problem with this series is that it tries to be too much, and in doing so, it is outright convenient, unnecessarily complex, outrageously tiring, and mind-numbingly predictable. Director Siddharth Sen Gupta makes a hodgepodge of Undekhi mixed with the tricks borrowed from Mirzapur and 90s Bollywood pulp, and the end product is sometimes too real to be psychotic and sometimes too psychotic to be believable. Sen Gupta, Varun Badola and Anhata Menon can't decide what they want the series to be. It quickly turns from a psychotic love story into a mystery, then into a thriller, and then a comedy. If the series was trying to be a dark comedy, let us tell you first up that it is neither dark nor comic. It uses Tom, Dick and Harry brand of humor at junctures that are critical for the story to evolve, and the lead characters conveniently get away with blabbering, almost as if questioning the intelligence of the OTT audience. The story arc is simple: the descent of a man into who and what he hates in the first place, and the circumstances that led to it. But the character development is so shallow and Sen Gupta takes so long to make the point that had it not been for this review, we would have quit watching halfway. Allow us to briefly step away from our regular review approach and draw some parallels. There are psychotic lovers in the critically acclaimed series You and in Tahir's recently released series Ranjish Hi Sahi. And those products work because you are invested in how the characters think and how their thought process results in their actions. Because the directors helped you get there, to empathize with the characters. None of this is true for Yeh Kaali Kaali Ankhein, which is neither interesting nor intriguing. And if you feel the parts of the story feel like been there done that, that's because a lot of cast and crew was from Andekhi and Mirzapur, the failed amalgamation of which is this product. The reason we think this is a tiring watch is simple. Whereas Ranjish Hi Sahi takes a story that was previously quickly narrated in short films and turns it into a well-woven 8-episode tale, Yeh Kaali Kaali Ankhein takes a movie-length story and fails to convert it into an 8-episode feature. This means there are erratic detours that inevitably reach their predictable conclusions, plot twists that add absolutely nothing to the story, and if there is a way to add uncomfortable situations on screen, the writers found it and put it there. More often than not, the series felt like it is in a mess it is trying to get itself out of, which translates to sloppy screenplay and confusing character arcs. Speaking of confusion, that's what each character is doing for 90% of the show, being confused and confusing the audience. There is unnecessary comedy about condoms, googling how to cry, how to order a contract killer on the dark web, and how to shoot. Some characters conveniently die, while others appear out of nowhere and then completely disappear. The roles that are supposed to be psychotic are easily convinced by jibber jabber, and contract killers give life advice to the leads, who follow it. It's such a mess that the viewer forgets the mood the characters were in, the reason why the audience doesn't stay invested. In a minute, this series goes from taking the Gone Girl tone into a masala guilty pleasure watch. The makers absolutely twist the characters to match the narrative. The best way to describe the show is 60 WTF moments per episode where characters make unrelatable decisions and you're just waiting for all of it to make sense. All the while, the action scenes are so badly directed that Antim and Satyameva seem more realistic in comparison. Sen Gupta and crew try to sell us characters, deaths, confusion and plot that are neither believable nor thrilling, deliberately left incomplete and basically taking the audience to be dumbwitted. Here is the most frustrating part. When you hear the lines Naino ki mat suiyo, Naina thag lenge in Omkara, they are reminiscent of the famous lines from Othello, for she had eyes and she chose me, and seem to be a fit ode to the great work of Shakespeare. But Yeh Kaali Kaali Ankhein seems to think that it is in the same league and quotes this at the beginning of the series. We are sorry, but we are calling this one out. Direction and writing are very, very bitter.
Cinematography and music. These are the saving graces and the more enjoyable part of this mess. The shots in Leh Ladakh are the ones that really do stand out and impress. Some great work by Marzi Pagdiwala, Rahul Chauhan and Murli Krishna. Belon Fonseca's and Sameer Patra's music and mixing is above average and none too memorable. Overall, cinematography is sweet and music is between sweet and sour. The acting. Where do we even begin? Let's start with the good first. Saurabh Shukla is perhaps one of the two actors we want to mention here. He is diabolical as a ruthless politician who will go to any lengths to get what he wants. He is the most convincing of the lot. A half mention to Anchal Singh, who in places is convincing as a psychotic lover Purva, but is betrayed by a poorly written character. But that's about it. We have to say we are disappointed by Tahir. Whereas he played an exceptionally layered role in Ranjishi Sahi and made most of the limited screen time as Sunil Gavaskar in 83, he plays Vikrant as flat as you can imagine. This is probably a performance he'd quickly like to put behind him and move on. Shweta Tripathi seems like she's left Lakho Meg behind, walked right out of Mirzapur and into this one, with a hangover of her character from Made in Heaven, unimaginative and repetitive. Same is the case with Surya Sharma, with whom it seems like Rinku from Andekhi was rebranded as Dharmesh in this series. Meanwhile, Arunoday Singh strolls lazily out of Jism 2 and starts killing characters in an unintentionally comic manner. Brijendra Kala is annoying as Suryakant, Vikrant's father, and Sunita Rajwar hardly has any screen time and both remain underused in the series. Kalp Shah as Vikrant's friend, who conveniently appears to save the day, was convincing in the first few scenes but failed to wrap the character tightly as the series progressed. Overall, acting is between sour and bitter. The bottom line. Watch it if you have nothing better to do and a guilty pleasure masala Netflix series is what you seek while waiting for the third wave to end. Don't watch it for everything else. Good cinematography, average music and a couple of good portrayals are not worth nearly 8 hours of watch time. We won't be surprised if this isn't renewed for season 2. We'd suggest Ranjishi Sahi instead. Do check out our review of Ranjishi Sahi if you haven't already. This is Viewers Cut signing off. Until next time.